For more on the legal and environmental controversy surrounding Alligator Alcatraz, let's bring in Florida Director of Emergency Management, Kevin Guthrie. Kevin, welcome.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you having us on.
So why, in your view, is Alligator Alcatraz the ideal place to basically house some of these illegal immigrants?
Ultimately, people don't want this or any type of facility in their backyard. And at the end of the day, this is in the middle of the Everglades. It's surrounded by 39 square miles of nothing. And what it allows us to do is utilize the airstrip, the runway, and the apron that are there. We have not erected anything in the unimproved areas of the Everglades. This is all on existing pavement, existing concrete that was already there prior to our arrival. It makes it for the perfect location to do this. And of course, as you mentioned already, there's a 10,500-foot runway there that we can land any type of aircraft in the world at this facility and fly people directly out.
A critic says putting them there is cruel. Let's play it, and I'll get you to respond.
Putting this in the middle of the Everglades, in the middle of nowhere, in the hot, burning Florida sun, in a swampy area, is cruel.
Yes.
They also said we won't need to put up too many fences because of the natural barriers, alluding that, well, if someone runs away or anything, a gator will rip them apart and kill them. It's horrible. It's cruel.
How do you respond, Kevin?
Well, as you heard in the segment already, Secretary Kristi Noem says that we have to meet a higher level of standard with this facility. The average temperature in these tents is probably in the mid-70s, if not lower. When it gets in the heat of the day, it's obviously no higher or hotter than the mid-70s. At night, it could get a little bit cooler than that. But again, these standards are over and above what is available right now in any type of county correctional facility, state Department of Corrections facility. We meet a higher standard. Again, there's a lot of fake news out there showing that there's flooding going on in these tents. There was some flooding that happened on the first day, and if you look at the very end of the actual clip that was shot there by Jason Delgado, there is a tent that is not securely fastened to the bottom of the subflooring, and that is where the water intrusion happened. That has been fixed. It was fixed that day, and we do not have any flooding in these tents. They're all climate controlled. They all have bunks to sleep on instead of sleeping on the floor. So these are above average standards, and we're happy to support the president, the secretary, and the governor with this particular project.
Some Florida Democrats attempted to visit the site and were turned away. Let's play that, and I'll get you to react.
Governor Ron DeSantis handing out contracts to his friends to build what is essentially a concentration camp.
450 million taxpayer dollars can be going here to fund torture. Torture.
Torture's a little strong. That may have been a stunt for the TV cameras, but will you allow them to visit at the appropriate time?
Of course we will. We didn't know that they were coming in the middle of that particular segment being shot yesterday. We were in the process of taking hundreds of individuals from ICE. So it was not exactly the right time to have individuals go in there. I will point out that the Speaker of the House himself, as well as Senator Joe Gruters, were both there on the day that we actually had nobody in the facility and were able to do tours themselves. So we have complied with allowing individuals from the legislature in Florida to actually do inspections. We will continue to do those when it is the appropriate time and we don't have individuals coming in. Right now, they can reach out and contact our office. We are getting ready to schedule a tour on site for members of both sides of the aisle, and we welcome them to reach out to us and let us know. Nobody from their office has reached out to us beforehand. At least one of them has reached out to me after the fact, but not before the fact.
What's your message to folks who are worried about the environmental impact there in the Everglades?
Again, Governor DeSantis has led very, very strong on the Everglades. We've done more for the Everglades and natural restoration than any other governor has, possibly any other governors combined in the state of Florida. He has put billions of dollars into the Everglades, and we will continue to make sure that we uphold this national treasure in pristine environment. Again, I reiterate, we have not put anything into the Everglades. We have been building on top of existing concrete, existing asphalt, existing infrastructure that is already there.
You've been very clear about that. I just heard a lot of complaints, and I wanted you to have an opportunity to address them. Kevin Guthrie, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Mike, thanks a lot. And my heart goes out to Nim, Kid, and the people out in Texas. We're right there with you, buddy.
Amen.
Hey, it's Will Kane.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.